Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about RRR. And this is a winner of the Patreon movie review vote. If you would like for me to review a movie of your choice, then click on the link below and pledge to my Patreon, and maybe I'll be reviewing your movie next month. And this was selected by Midi Samosa. If you don't know the background to RRR, it's okay. I think most Americans and most people who watch this channel are not fully familiar with this is actually Tollywood. It is an Indian film. Not all Indian films that are like this with music and action and stuff are from Bollywood. It actually refers to where they make the film. And yeah, so Tollywood is a different kind of thing, I guess, from Bollywood. I'm not too sure. I don't know much about what I'm talking about in terms of the country of origin. It's cinema. I do know that it's called RR because of three people. The director, SS Rajamouli, NT Rama Rao Jr., Ram Charan, I believe. And they play Remy and Raju, who basically are two friends who are on opposing sides and sort of make up a friendship and then have awesome battles in terms of tigers and lions and hate colonialism. And there's a rom-com and there's music. And if I describe it, you'll think I'm drunk, but it is wholly amazing and awesome. This is the second time I've seen it. I saw it before and I thought, well, I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot if I review it. And then someone put it in the review vote. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot. But I kind of thought, I was like, I don't like to turn down stuff. And this was one of my favorite movies of the past year. And I sort of thought about what the deal is with this movie with American audiences, because there's been plenty of Tollywood films and plenty of Indian films that have had pretty wide distribution, that have done okay. Clearly not with the cinephile film Twitter crowd before like this. And why this movie, basically. And although I'm not fully sure, I think Patrick H. Willems has something to do with it. I think people just liking it. I think a big part of that is like this movie just has it all. And it has, you have two guys who like aren't friends and they are. There's secrets, there's rom-coms, there's explosions, there's literal like huge fights with tons of violence. There's, you're laughing, you're cheering, you're having a great time. And so much of modern cinema, which I think basically starts around 2000s in terms of the taste we're going into. And this was actually influenced largely by Inglourious Basterds. It takes two real historical figures and makes them buddies, and then they do awesome action sequences together. So I sort of get why the director of this, was super into Quentin Tarantino's historical play fiction, I guess. Is that, so much of when I became an adult and I was seeing movies is like Spider-Man the movie happened. And the whole time I was a kid reading comic books, I thought maybe like one day. But like I never thought it would really happen. It's like different. And then X-Men happened. I thought, that'll never happen. And like years and years have gone on, and they keep seeing things. You're like, I never thought they'd make a movie of that. I never thought they'd bring back Harrison Ford to Star Wars. I never thought they'd do this. It just keeps going and going. And you kind of wondered, and I wondered around the time of Force Awakens, like, will I ever get the feeling of being surprised by a huge, ginormous movie like this again? And I mean, Last Jedi came out. But excluding that really good movie, I do think after Endgame it was sort of over, and then COVID hit and stuff, and like it did feel like, it's not that there are bad movies, it's just this big blockbuster that when you're kids you're like, I can't believe they're doing this or that. Like from being able to see Roger Rabbit as a kid to, even Endgame or Black Panther, or so many things that I never thought would happen and be as amazing as they are. And when you look at RRR, I honestly think that is what this is. Because as shocking as it is to see Doctor Strange 2 and Taika Waititi mess up a Thor sequel, it does feel like it's not just like people like it's superhero fatigue. It's just like the thrill of the I can't believe this is real thing that was even very much in the first Avengers and all that is like sorta is gone. It's like, oh cool, they're doing Fantastic Four, I guess, again. Batman's still dark, but it's 7 now, so that's about what you thought it would be. It was neat, but it just feels like for a while cinematically with these big things, you get your No Way Homes, you get your Spider-Verses, but then that moment is over and you kind of want your new fix. And RRR is that. It's made for this cinematic where you want to be surprised. You want to be like, I can't believe they did that. Holy fuck. Like, it's just like I can't believe they did not to. I can't believe, like, the thing where he breaks in to the palace with all the tigers and lions and stuff. I'm still like, how is that not a bigger meme? Like, that's incredible. Like, I think that's really what this is. You're just like gobsmacked. Like, you don't really know the context. I get the impression it's not as cool over in India to critics and stuff, but if this is like your first of any kind of movie ever, like, I can't imagine, like, can you imagine, like, they're seeing, they're supposed to have ducked when the train was coming, or when that guy shot in the Great Train Robbery. If you played them RRR, they'd probably all be dead now. Wait, I think they are all dead now. How did movies get to this? Like, holy shit. I think that's a lot of what this is. You're like, movies do this, and there's no irony. It's like when the music comes in and goes, they're the best of friends, and they're brothers, long lost love stuff, and like all this. And the structure is not a usual structure. It like opens with like one of the guys, Raju, like he beats up 200 dudes or something. I don't know how many dudes, just because one of them throw a rock at a picture of a colonizer guy, so he has to go and get them so he can get respect. And then Remy, that's amazing. Like, they have superpowers, which you just sort of accept. There's not like, I need to do an origin story. So at least, they got that nobody likes those anymore. And then it's just like keeps going. Like, there's revelations about the characters that come late. I heard James Cameron really likes this movie, and I'm like totally not surprised, because looking at the third act of Avatar, it's structured so much like that. Like, oh, he has the key, now he's lost the key, now this problem is started, now we have a new problem, now we have this, now we have that. And it's not like the crazy action sequence. Like, I do think there is a real art to, let's start a problem, now problem is gone, now this problem, now that. And I feel like most action sequences now, like your Mission Impossibles or something, or Fast and Furious, are sort of being Tom and Jerry cartoons. And this is more, I would say, like Bugs Bunny, where it's like gag ends, gag begins, gag ends, gag begins, and it's within a context of a thing. But like the Tom and Jerry thing is about, like, they're at the bowling alley and they keep having gags. The gag is you're not supposed to mess up the bowling alley, and that's like it. And those are different things, and they're amazing in their own right. But I look at this as like, it's almost more of an art to like structure those all, so you're not like, oh, this is stupid at this point. Like, I was totally in it. And especially the second time I watched it, I would like to actually see this director's other stuff. I would like to understand, because it's called RRR for a reason, but it was actually named that by the fans because of the director and the 2 stars. I would like to know more about the 2 stars and the director. I am kind of curious. I think I'm going to try to use this as more of a gateway. I would actually like to learn more, because I had so much fun, and I was like, you know what, this is like, it brightens up your day. That's the other thing, is I think we live in a time, not only the surprising thing, but I think the age of like, haha, you have a dumb villain name, or like, say Squidward, Earth is closed today, or MCU joke insert, or whatever the fuck. I think we're sort of over that. I think it's more of the, Ted Lasso, or I like to say Abbott Elementary age that we're kind of in, of like positivity and like acknowledging like, hey, you can actually make stuff that's good, that's positive, and you don't have to be snarky all the time. And nothing about this is like winking at the audience. It's like full on in your fucking face. They have Ray Stevenson, who's the Punisher that you forgot, not that one, but the other one, and Allison Doty, who was formerly a Nazi in an Indiana Jones movie, so she's bad. And they're playing the colonizers. Ray Stevenson is, I know I was disrespecting him, I actually know him more for Rome. He's really good as an evil white person. It is everything pulled up to 11. But part of me is like, maybe this is how we actually engage with history. Like, the age of what if we are historically accurate all the time, I think kind of sucked. And like, it You know, this movie's like, if you want to write like things that are wrong about RRR, like, well, like all of it. I don't think they were like flipping over motorcycles and like throwing grenades on arrows and like doing everything they have. This is an awesome action-filled musical blockbuster of epic proportions that I've never seen this before in such a way. The Natu Natu sequence is utterly amazing. There are literally characters in that never come back. Doesn't fucking matter. I didn't even notice until after the second time. I was like, wait, the white dude they hate, like, what happened to him? Like, they don't even have him get like shot later. I was like, it seems like a pretty easy insert shot. Anyway, I guess he just got destroyed because that song was amazing, and it's like so much fun. Then with the suspenders and stuff, but there's something thrilling about like the old thing of watching Gene Kelly or Fred Astaire. Like, there's a reason those guys still have names that are still cool, is because it's still cool to watch a full body shot of them dancing. It's still cool to watch Jackie Chan have a full body shot. There's a reason Bruce Lee will never go away for the same thing, why dancing and fighting are, so it actually sort of makes sense that they're together in this. But it's kind of like, look, I think the thing with this movie is you just have to see it. You know, if you're like sort of not super into Hollywood, but just like sort of the ridiculous awesomeness of, you know, an insane person's imagination, I think you'd probably be into this. Apparently the screenings were amazing. I really wasn't going to screenings when this came out. Unfortunately, it sounds like a thrill. I would have loved to. This is one I'm going to show people for a while. I understand there's some nationalist themes. I don't fully understand nationalism in India. Nationalism, I think, is really stupid and fairly obviously flawed ideal in general. And if you really believe in it, you probably should think for like 2 seconds and be like, what if I only cared about my house? Oh, wait, I get my food from somewhere. You know, it's like that. It's almost like global politics works on trade. Crazy. I don't know anything about that. I don't know these historical figures, and I can't like laugh at how ridiculous maybe that is, or how amazing that is, or how stupid that is. You know, if this was like, you could probably make one of these about Teddy Roosevelt. He's probably like the only US president who would be cool enough in any of these things. He's the only real superhero one. I mean, Reagan was a supervillain, but not. This is cinema. I think in some ways it's not the cinema people want to believe is cinema, but it is what cinema is. Cinema is action sequences and musicals and ridiculous fan fiction of history. It is all the ridiculous bombast and movie stars and directors out of control and fun and violence and like CG tigers and everything like that. That is what cinema is. You could say like maybe this is the awful truth of America releasing like the most ridiculously stupid movies internationally, or you could say like the director is a keen observer to what cinema actually really is. I'm not getting into a Scorsese debate or something like that, but when I watched this, I was like, oh man, this is the real influence of superhero movies. And he admits like he wanted to make these guys superheroes. He was influenced by Quentin Tarantino. Like, this is like if the dumbest film bro was like really, really smart at the same time, but like didn't really give a shit. And it's like glorious at it. It's kind of amazing in a way, and I think that's why you say critics like exasperated, because it's just like there's so much joy. I think like when you love movies, you actually like seeing things you like. There's like this misnomer like critics love ripping shit apart, and I don't feel that way. I actually like seeing good movies and telling my friends like, hey, you know what, even when I told people I'm rewatching RRR, they're like, oh sweet, that's amazing. Like, people were into that. Like, is it still good? I'm like, yeah, great. People like seeing something good. It is not just about seeing bad movies and tearing them down. And I think that's why this movie is getting so much prime to it, is we need something unexpected. We need something to surprise us and give us the power of cinema and be like, I can't believe they did that. And something, you know, as a movie, not necessarily a political ideology, by the way, you can totally like believe in as an audience member and know it's going to take you through, and you're going to be like, holy shit, what was that? And know you're going to have a good, entertaining night. And hey, it's a long movie, but it is a hell of a movie. And I think it's like almost like too much movie, but it's so much movie you kind of just like can't really deny what it is. So if you have seen RRR and you would like to talk about it, then comment below. in the comments and subscribe if you would like to. And this was a winner of the Patreon movie review vote. If you would like for me to review a movie of your choice, then click on the link below and pledge, and maybe I'll be reviewing your movie next month. Thank you very much for watching.